I had one question while playing through Resident Evil Village for the second time. A question that needed to be answered. That question, can you beat Resident Evil 8 while only moving backwards? I decided I would be the one who would take that journey, and it started off pretty well actually. I got Rose up to her room, no problem. It's like I lived in that house for years. I made almost no bumps, no errors, all good. After I put her to sleep, I went downstairs, watched my wife get shot, and woke up in a snowy area. Luckily, the next part was a lot more linear than I thought it was. When you're walking through it normally, it very much seems like you could get lost, but I don't think I got stuck more than once or twice. And besides that, I made it through perfectly fine. Now, once I actually got to the houses, I did have to kind of spin around a few times to get my bearings straight. But besides that, I walked backwards. There's a few times I accidentally walked forward for a second, and then I just whipped around and kept walking backwards. Also, I couldn't decide if hopping over things, like through windows or over fences, actually counted against it. I decided it didn't really, but, you know. I knew the first major test would be the Lycan attack, and it was. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I noticed they don't actually attack you until you get into the house with a shotgun. Or get close to it, like right to the doorway of the house with a shotgun. Once you get that, they go after you. I grabbed it. I was going to say I ran, but I didn't. I walked backwards slowly into the next room and held out there as long as I could. And once I got overwhelmed, I dropped down into the underground area. And I hung out there until like a minute or two after the big guy roared. I came out, and I got stuck in a corner almost immediately. Luckily, it was just long enough. I got the cutscene activation, and I survived. So that wasn't all that bad, actually. Not much exciting happened after that. It was mostly just me walking around the village collecting things. The next part that was a bit scary was in front of Luiza's house, because there are Lycans in the field that don't come out until you get close to them, close enough to set them off. It went better than I thought it would. I was able to draw one out and actually see the other in the field without setting him off. So I killed both of them, and I think there's a third one, but I just left him and went through and activated the cutscene. Pretty much nothing important happened in Luiza's house. The fire is not time-based, it's just event-based. I believe. Maybe I did it quick enough, or, you know, I beat it, but I'm pretty sure it's event-based. So walking backwards had no effect there. So, as you can probably see, the video doesn't go on much longer, and we've only made it to the first major thing, which is the chase scene from Heisenberg. Well, his minions. It turns out you can get through the first part where you get chased by a Lycan and one breaks through the wall and you drop down into the rock walkway towards the big Lycan boy. You can get past that. You'll take some damage, but luckily I did it on casual, so I healed through any major damage I took. I got hit by an arrow once. I tried about 4 or 5 times. But the problem comes when you are running from the spiked ceiling, not in the big room, in the hallway after you get through the big room and go through the little crouch hole. I tried multiple times, and I could never get through it. I don't know if the hallway spikes are tied to the room, the big room with the spikes, or not. I don't think it is. I think the hallway spikes only activate after you crack open that door. And I felt like I did it as fast as I possibly could. Maybe there's someone out there who's better and can get through it. If they can, and I know it's possible, I will continue and try it again. But as far as I can see, it is not possible to beat Resident Evil 8 while only moving backwards. You get cut off almost immediately from the beginning. So in the first hour, you get screwed over by spikes. So, there you go. Question asked, question answered. It's actually pretty fun. I was going to do a thing where if it didn't work, like if a part didn't work with me going backwards, I would just, do it forwards and get through it and then continue. Which I might still do, but it depends on if anyone wants to see that. If no one says they want to see it, I won't do it. But the question was answered. We cannot do it. It's just not possible from what I can see. I did get stuck a couple, like every time I did it I got stuck for a second in the big spike room, but it just, yeah, I don't see it being possible, honestly. Like I said, if enough people like this, I will release the first part of my run. It's like an hour and 10-ish minutes. I'll just release that whole thing, and if enough people like that and want me to continue, I will keep going through backwards like an idiot. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, so I wouldn't mind continuing. I hope enough people ask for it. You know what? If one person says continue, just one word, continue, I will do it. Might even stream it, I don't know. So you can see my terrible gameplay live. But until then, I will say try it. It was fun.